and they moved us out on the road. And that was from February the 6th to May the 2nd. I was given 1 cup of soup, real thin soup. And most of the time we stole potatoes from the farmers to survive on. And we slept on the ground or in an old barn. And one time, the first night out, we cleared the place to sleep, the snow away. There's 3 of us boys together, put 2 blankets on the ground, covered up with one, and we put our old heavy army overcoats over us. I think those old army heavy overcoats is what saved us, because we lost a lot of men that froze to death at night. And
Tell them, you slept in the middle.
No, we changed positions every night. One guy would sleep on the middle, and the next night he'd have to sleep on the outside. But the guy in the middle kind of kept warm all night. But he was the only one. And I was liberated on May the 2nd by the Canadian Army, and they transferred us all up to Brussels, Belgium. We was in a courtyard, and they made us take all of our clothes off, throw them in a pile, stark-ass naked, and they set our clothes all on fire because it was full of lice. Our head was full of lice, body lice, and the first thing they did was put a sheet over us and cut our hair. And then they threw us through a delousing chamber. We got on the other side, they give us all Canadian uniforms. The Canadian Red Cross give us $16. And that was all the money we had till we got back to the United States. And I spent 2 weeks up in London on furlough up there. We come home. We was 26 days on an LSD getting home from Plymouth, England to Norfolk, Virginia. And that was when we finally got American uniforms to wear again. And that was, from there I went home for 3 months and back down to San Antonio, Texas, and that was where I got my discharge. In October, I was in the Army Air Force 3 years, and that's all I have to say about it.
Lee, were you wounded at all? Did you have any wounds from your experience in the prison camp?
What?
Any wounds?
Yes, I had wounds in my neck, shrapnel in my neck, the side of my face, and on my arm, and on my leg I had wounds.
Was that treated in the prison camp?
What?
Was that treated in the prison camp?
No.
No medical treatment?
I had one bad wound on the side of my face that swelled up. After 6 weeks, German Army doctor took it out, operated on it, and he was a mean son of a bitch. And he told you when you went in to see him, you had to stand at attention, and he told you, I'm a Nazi first and a doctor second. And I believed every word he said.
But you said the German people treated you really well.
Well, when they took us to Frankfurt, Germany, the English had bombed the railroad yards the night before, and there was three English airmen hanging up from balconies by their neck. And I thought we was going to get our necks stretched there. The guards didn't guard us, they guarded the people away from us. And that was what saved us.
Was you on the rails traveling too, Lee?
What?
You was on the railroad traveling, is that how they moved you?
We walked about 300 and some miles that winter. We had to average 10 miles a day.
And you didn't have anything to eat?
No, we didn't.
How did you take a bath or get a drink of water?
Well, you didn't take a bath. Hell, I didn't have a bath for 6 months.
Oh my God!
What do you expect? Out on the road.
Oh, I can't believe it.
Was this when you came home? What was your experience? Did you have like shell shock or anything, Lee?
A little bit, yeah. Well, I got home, and somebody had bought two of my sisters a whistle. And they blowed them whistles and drove me up a wall. And I asked them one day if I could see their whistles, which they give me. And I opened up the cook stove and I threw them in the cook stove. And you ought to have seen them two girls bawled. And my mom was kind of glad that I'd done that.
Well, you was actually, how long was you a prisoner of war then, Lee? Actually in the prison camps?
I got in the camp, I got there in last part of May, and then we left the camp the 6th of February.
Was the treatment rough in the camp? Was the guards rough on you?
No, the guards wasn't rough in the camp. They kept one man inside, and they had guard towers all over. But there was one camp they moved in that summer, and they had to walk 2 miles back from the railroad station, our camp, and they made them run, and most all of them had bayonet wounds in their butt, prodding them on. And they was extremely mean to them. We had one red-headed German captain who was a mean son of a bitch. And after the war, he wound up hanging. Somebody threw the rope around his neck and tied him up on a tree and hung him. And that was, if I'd had a gun, I'd shot this son of a bitch too.
Oh, he didn't like him.
Was the Red Cross, now did they give you any supplies or Salvation Army when you was in the prison
camp?
camp?
The Red Cross gave us some supplies. They was not, in that summer, they didn't, that fall we started getting Red Cross supplies, and that really saved us a lot, yeah.
What about the Salvation Army? Did they play any part?
No, we never had anything about the Salvation Army. But
And
the
was
Red Cross really did help us out.
did you keep in contact with any of the men that?
Yes, I kept in contact with my crew, and I'm the last one living from my crew.
Oh, no.
The last one died last January.
Last January,
Last January, yeah.
and that was the end of your crew then, except
That was
for
the
you.
end of my crew, yeah.
And now, was you awarded any medals, Lee?
I got the Air Medal, the Purple Heart, Prisoner of War Medal, and the European Air Medal. Yeah, and
Can you think of anything else that they might be interested in?
no, I can't right now. I probably will later on.
Well, we can film again, Lee.
Okay.
Okay.